Hey guys, so I'll be reading Job chapter 3, and I am a few days late, but just bear with me, guys. I hope you guys are still tuned in and enjoying my readings. If so, please, guys, leave a comment down below and share my video out and subscribe. Thank you. Job chapter 3. Job deplores his death. After this, Job opened his mouth and cursed the day he was born. And we have a commentary here. Job's Wish, chapter 3, verse 1 through 25. Job did not blame God for his problems, as Satan wanted him to do. But he did sink into a deep depression and wish he had never been born. This is a common human response when things seem to go against us in life. Job was in deep inner pain and bitterness, mistakenly seeing himself as the object of God's anger. However, even in the depths of his depression, Job did not turn to alcohol or drugs to find peace of mind. Although the mood-altering drugs with which we are familiar were not around in those days, ancient cultures did have drugs, and Job did not turn to them in crisis. Also, Job did not try to commit suicide as a way to end his pain. Instead, Job poured out his anguish to God. Verse 2, And Job spoke and said, May the day perish on which I was born, and the night in which it was said, A male child is conceived. May the day be darkness. May God above not seek it. May darkness and the shadow of death claim it. May a cloud settle on it. May the blackness of the day terrify it. As for the night, may darkness seize it. May it not rejoice among the days of the year. May it not come into the number of the months. Oh, may the night be barren. May no joyful shout come into it. May those curse it who curse today. Those who are ready to arouse Leviathan, may the stars of its morning be dark. May it look for light, but have none, and not see the dawning of the day, because it did not shut up the doors of my mother's womb, nor hide sorrow from my eyes. Why did I not die at birth? Why did I not perish when I came from the womb? Why did the knees receive me? Or why the breast that I should nurse? For now I would have lain still and been quiet. I would have been asleep. Then I would have been at rest with kings and counselors of the earth, who built ruins for themselves, or with princes who had gold, who filled their houses with silver. Or why was I not hidden like a stillborn child, like infants who never saw light? There are wicked seeds from troubling, and there the weary are at rest. There the prisoners rest together. They do not hear the voice of the oppressor. The small and great are there, and their servant is free from his master. Why is light given to him who is in misery, and life to the bitter of soul, who long for death, but it does not come, and stretch for it more than hidden treasures? Who rejoices exceedingly and are glad when they can find the grave? Why is light given to a man whose way is hidden, in whom God has hedged in? For my sighing comes before I eat, and my groanings pour out like water. For the thing I greatly feared has come upon me, and what I dreaded has happened to me. I am not at ease, nor am I quiet. I have no rest, for trouble comes. That was Job chapter 3. And now we're going to read Job chapter 4. Eliphaz, Job has sinned is the title. Chapter 4. Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, If one attempts a word with you, will you become weary? But who can withhold himself from speaking? Surely you have instructed many, and you have strengthened weak hands. Your words have upheld him who was stumbling, and you have strengthened the feeble knees. And now it comes upon you, and you are weary. It touches you, and you are troubled. Is not your reverence your confidence, and the integrity of your ways your hope? Remember now, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the upright ever cut off? Even as I have seen, those who plow iniquity and sow trouble reap the same. But the blast of God they perish, and by the breath of his anger they are consumed. The roaring of the lion, the voice of the fierce lion, and the teeth of the young lions are broken. The old lion perished for lack of prey, and the cubs of the lioness are scattered. Now a word was secretly brought to me, and my ear received a whisper of it, and disquieting thoughts from the visions of the night. When deep sleep falls on men, fear came upon me and trembling, which made all my bones shake. Then a spirit passed before my face. The hair on my body stood up. It stood still, but I could not discern its appearance. A form was before my eyes. There was silence. Then I heard a voice saying, Can a mortal be more righteous than God? Can a man be more pure than his Maker? Verse 18, If he puts no trust in his servants, if he charges his angels with error, how much more those who dwell in a house of clay, whose foundation is in the dust, who are crushed before a moth. They are broken into pieces from morning till evening. They perish forever with no one regarding. Does not their own excellence go away? They die even without wisdom. That was verse 21. So chapter 4. And now let's see. We'll do chapter 5 as well. Chapter 5 is titled Eliphaz. I'm not sure if I'm saying the names right, but I think I may have a little bit of it right. Eliphaz, Job is chastened by God. Chapter 5, verse 1. Call out now. Is there anyone who will answer you? And to which of the holy ones will you turn? For wrath kills a foolish man, and envy slays a simple one. I have seen the foolish taken root, but suddenly I cursed his dwelling place. His sons are far from safety. They are crushed in the gate, and there is no deliverer. Because the hungry eat up the harvest, taking it even from the thorns, and a snare snatches their substance. For affliction does not come from the dust, nor does trouble spring from the ground. Yet man is born to trouble, as the sparks fly upward. Verse 8. But as for me, I would seek God, and to God I would commit my cause. Who does great things and unsearchable, marvelous things without number? He gives rain on the earth and sends waters on the field. He sets on high those who are lowly, and those who mourn are lifted to safety. He frustrates the device of the crafty, so that their hands cannot carry out their plans. He catches the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the cunning comes. Quickly upon them they meet with darkness in the daytime, and grope at noontime as in the night. But he saves the needy from the sword, from the mouth of the mighty, and from the hand. So the poor have hope, and injustice shuts her mouth. Behold, happy is the man whom God corrects. Therefore do not despise the chastening of the Almighty. For he bruises, but he binds up. He wounds, but his hands make whole. He shall deliver you in 6 troubles. Yes, in 7 no evil shall touch you. In famine he shall redeem you from death. And in war from the power of the sword. You shall be hidden from the scourge of the tongue. And you shall not be afraid of destruction when it comes. You shall laugh at destruction and famine. And you shall not be afraid of the beast of the earth. Verse 23. For you shall have a covenant with the stones of the field, and the beast of the field shall be at peace with you. You shall know the tent is in your peace. You shall know your tent is in peace. You shall visit your dwelling and find nothing amiss. You shall also know your descendants shall be many, and your offspring like the grass of the earth. You shall come to the grave at a full age, as a sheaf of grain ripens in its season. Behold, this we have searched out. It is true. Hear it and know for yourself. Okay, we're going to do Job chapter 6, and it's titled, Job, My Complaint is Just. Verse 1. Then Job answered and said, Oh, that my grief were fully weighed, and my calamity laid with it on the scales, for then it would be heavier than the sand of the sea. Therefore my words have been rash, for the arrows of the Almighty are within me. My spirit drinks in their poison. The terrors of God are arrayed against me. Does the wild donkey bray when it has grass, or does the ox low over its fodder? Can flavorless food be eaten without salt, or is there any taste in the white of an egg? My soul refuses to touch them. They are as loathsome food to me. Oh, that I might have my request, that God would grant me the thing that I long for, that it would please God to crush me, that he would lose his hand and cut me off. Then I would still have comfort, though in anguish I would exult. He would not spare, for I have not concealed the words of the Holy One. What strength do I have, that I should hope? And what is my end, that I should prolong my life? Is my strength the strength of stones, or is my flesh bronze? Is my help not within me? And is success driving me? Is success driven from me? To him who is afflicted, kindness should be shown by his friend. Even though he forsakes the fear of the Almighty, my brothers have dealt deceitfully like a brook, like the streams of the brooks that pass away, which are dark ones of the ice, and into which the snow vanishes. When it is warm, they cease to flow. When it is hot, they vanish from their places. The paths of their way turn aside. They go nowhere and perish. The caravans of Tema look. The travelers of Sheba hope for them. They are disappointed because they were confident. They come there and are confused, for now you are nothing. You see terror and are afraid. Did I ever say, bring something to me, or offer a bribe from your wealth, or deliver me from the enemy's hand, or redeem me from the hand of oppressors? Teach me, and I will hold my tongue. Cause me to understand wherein, and I have erred. Verse 25. How forceful are right hands, but what does your arguing prove? Do you intend to rebuke my words and the speeches of desperate one, which are as wind? Yes, you overwhelm the fatherless, and you undermine your friend. Now, therefore, be pleased to look at me, for I would never lie to your face. Yield now, let there be no injustice. Yes, concede my righteousness Concede, my righteousness still stands. Is there injustice on my tongue? Cannot my taste discern the unsavory? All right, that was the end of chapter 6, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed.